Believe it or not, there are many similarities in the leadership of the Hokage in the Naruto film with the presidency of Indonesia. A little explanation for you who don't follow the Naruto series. In the Naruto movie, there is an area called Konoha and its leader is called the Hokage. So, if the Konoha area in the Naruto animation is likened to the country of Indonesia, then the position of the Hokage as the leader of Konoha is the same as the position of the president. And coincidentally, the Hokage in the Naruto film has 7 Hokage figures, the same as Indonesia, which already has 7 presidents. At least until this video is made. From the several sources that we have summarized, in the following we will show you an overview of the similarities between Hokage Naruto and the history of the Indonesian presidency. Number 1. The first president of Indonesia with the first Hokage. Sukarno was the first president of Indonesia, and Hashirama Senju was the first Hokage of the Konoha region. Sukarno is the leader of the founding of Indonesia and Hashimama is the founding figure of Konoha. Both are figures who are respected and admired for their success in liberating the country. Hashirama is the strongest ninja respected by leaders of other countries. This depiction is very similar to Sukarno, the first president of Indonesia, who is known as the greatest president in Indonesian history. Even Sukarno was respected by leaders of other countries such as America, the Soviet Union and others, such as Hashirama, who was respected by ninjas in the Naruto story. Number 2. The second Hokage and the second president of Indonesia. Tobarama Senju is the second Hokage, and Suharto is the second president of Indonesia. In the era of Tobarama's leadership, he built the city of Konoha very massively. Various kinds of state facilities were built and equipped. Tobarama also formed the state security system from the military and police structures. This phase is very similar to Indonesia under Suharto's leadership. During President Suharto's era, Indonesia experienced very rapid development, such as infrastructure, state facilities, security systems and others. Another example of similarity between Tobarama and Suharto, they have a very dominant attitude in common, namely assertiveness. Suharto, the second president of Indonesia, is a president who is firm and courageous, like Tobarama, the second Hokage in the city of Konoha. Number 3. The third Hokage and the third president of Indonesia. Sarutobi is the third Hokage who has the smallest physique among the Hokage, but Sarutobi is the leader of the most genius of all the Hokage in Konoha. Because of this extraordinary genius, Sarutobi is famous as a ninja professor. The character of Sarutobi is exactly the same as the third president of Indonesia, namely Habibie. Habibie is a successful figure who has many achievements and copyrights from his inventions in the field of trains and airplanes. His genius has been recognized on an international scale. President Habibie is the same as Sarutobi, who is small in stature, but his leadership abilities and genius are very impressive achievements. Number 4. The fourth Hokage and the fourth president of Indonesia. Minato, Konoha's fourth Hokage, is Konoha's greatest ninja who is known to be a jokester. But Minato's reign was very short. Minato's fate is exactly the same as Gustor, the fourth Indonesian president, who is known to joke around even when it comes to precarious matters. Gustor is always relaxed and humorous. However, his term of office was short, not until one presidential term was completed. Number 5. The fifth Hokage and the fifth president of Indonesia. After we cover so many similarities between Konoha and Indonesia up to the fourth leadership, we move on to the fifth leadership, namely Tsunade, the fifth Hokage, and Megawati, the fifth president of Indonesia. They are the leaders of the city of Konoha and the fifth Indonesian government, and uniquely, they are the first leaders from among women. Unique again. Tsunade is a descendant of Konoha's first Hokage, exactly the same as Megawati, who is also a direct descendant of Indonesia's first president. Number 6. The sixth Hokage and the sixth president of Indonesia. Kakashi Hatake is the sixth leader of Konoha. Kakashi was a dependable figure from a very young age, and was a true Hokage from the military. Exactly the same as the sixth president of Indonesia, namely, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, who came from the military, who was also a member of the military who excelled from a young age. Number 7. the 7th Hokage and the 7th President of Indonesia. Naruto is the 7th Hokage in Konoha. Before becoming Hokage, at first no one thought Naruto would become president of Konoha, but with his struggle and enthusiasm, he finally reached the highest position in Konoha. In the era of Naruto's leadership, Konoha is a country that is developing very massively, especially in infrastructure and other public facilities. How is it similar to the 7th Indonesian presidency in the Jokowi era? As we know and still continues today. Jokowi is the Indonesian president who is very serious about building the country's infrastructure, and Indonesia is one of the countries with massive infrastructure progress. Jokowi, who has something in common with Naruto. His dream of becoming a leader was initially thought to be just a joke for some people. Both Naruto and Jokowi, both of whom were underestimated and considered impossible to become leaders because they were considered stupid. But in the end they became leaders who even became leaders who were very successful in building the country. There are still many details of the similarities between the leadership of Konoha and Indonesia, and we will show the simplest. What do you think? Is it possible that the story of Naruto was inspired by the history of the Indonesian presidency? Try to write your opinion in the comments column.
I need whatever the hell could make me happy.